On the spot news media, we got the latest news. We don't care about the views, we just representing right. Put local news internationally every night. On the spot, wave that Jamaican flag from left to right. Let's get it right, y'all know the type. We ain't dealing with the hype. We make it take flight.
Yeah man, my viewers and subscribers, what Guan. A blessed and wonderful Thursday morning to each and every person out there tuning into On The Spot News Media. Now, my peeps, I don't know how we do it over on this side each and every morning. We have to give thanks and praise to the Most High Creator for the preservation of life, because life is indeed the greatest. So in the morning, my peeps, I have a few stories to share with you, the regular members of Chan Public and also members of the diaspora. So please like the video, share the video, watch the entire vlog so you can get a full understanding and a better appreciation of everything we are going in Jamaica. So watch this now, my peeps. Now the morning, we're going to kick it off with some international updates. Now, the first international story that we're going to talk about involves a Jamaican national who is among 5 deportees sent to the African kingdom of Eswatini. Now, we don't know how this thing will work out that way, you know. But I guess the President of the United States of America is presently having his way. So the US says it has deported what it described as 5 criminal illegal aliens to the Southern African Kingdom of Eswatini. Now the US Homeland Security Department Assistant Secretary stated that the deportees were from Vietnam, Jamaica, Laos, Cuba and Yemen, and they have been convicted of crimes ranging from child hold on and take to a fatal knockings and clappings. Now we could talk about the Jamaican. So the Jamaican man presently on your screen has been convicted in the US. He was convicted of a fatal knockings and clappings and sentenced to 25 years confinement. He was also convicted of robbery, sentenced to 6 years confinement, and convicted of possession of a weapon, sentenced to 6 months of confinement. So Eswatini, for those who don't know, is the last absolute monarchy in the continent of Africa. It stated that it acknowledged the widespread concern within the country regarding the deportations. So earlier this month, the United States sent 8 immigrants from several countries to South Sudan after the court lifted restrictions on sending people to countries where they have no ties. So I don't know how that one here work out where this Jamaican man is concerned. But all I know is that dog nyam him supper. I hope him find some sort of help over there and can, I don't know, pick up his pieces and make good of his life. Because the fact that him commit a fatal knockings and clappings in America and the Spot News Media, not really too sorry for him in that circumstances. So I guess it is what it is. But anyway, make we continue. Now in the Caribbean island of Antigua, an Antiguan man, this brother here, presently on your screen, was sentenced to 30 years for taking the life of a Jamaican hairdresser said to be his spouse at the time. Now in St. John's, Antigua, this man was found guilty of taking the life of this Jamaican hairdresser with whom he had a relationship. He has been sentenced to 30 years in prison by an Antiguan court. Now, Sean Mussington, presently on your screen, was sentenced when he appeared in the High Court on Tuesday. Sean Mussington was found guilty of the capital offense following a jury trial in March. The judge also ordered that the sentence can be reviewed after Sean Mussington serves at least 20 years. Sean Mussington was charged with the brutal fatality of his former partner, Simone White Barrington, who is also presently on your screen. An offense which occurred on the 4th of November 2020. During the trial, which lasted about a week, the prosecution led evidence that showed that Sean Mussington was unable to get over his breakup with the Jamaican female. The prosecution painted Sean as a stalker, describing his actions as cowardly and a sneaky attack. The Crown also posted that he was obsessed with her and did not want to let her go, so he became dangerous. Sean Mussington inflicted several knife wounds to the chest of the Jamaican female, leaving her lifeless. It is reported that he had been monitoring her movements on that sad and horrific night before he held on to her as she passed him and inflicted the several wounds to her chest, leaving her lifeless. The Jamaican female lost her life same place on the spot. Boy, me I tell you my peeps, the thing rough, but we're glad, definitely glad that justice was indeed served. Now back to local style. So about 3 months ago, I did this vlog, presently on your screen, surrounding the disappearance of the female identified as Nicola Chislam, said to be of a glamour scheme in Maypen, Clarendon. Now in a recent vlog to this one posted, I made mention that her ex-spouse, her ex-boyfriend, that was also named, would have been a person of interest surrounding her disappearance. But in this vlog, presently on your screen, I spoke with the ex-boyfriend who stated that he has nothing to do with the disappearance of Nicola Chislam. Now, days after, the lifeless body of a female was found without a head. It is said that dogs dragged the body to the streets. The police were alerted and the body removed to the morgue. Now, DNA evidence came to confirm that the lifeless body that was found without a head was indeed that of Nicola Chislam. Now, in the first vlog I did, and also with the boyfriend, the ex-boyfriend I should have stated, it was also revealed that she had a male companion who lives overseas, and that male companion threatened her life. It is stated that she was threatened, stating that if she ever speak to the ex again, her life would have been taken. So I'm not for sure if it was revealed that she was still talking to the ex and the spouse overseas took her life. But this is an open case, so we await on the detectives on this case to solve it. And I can definitely bring more of it to you, the regular members of Chan Public, subsequently. Boy, may I tell you, it's really sad. Now the next update is coming out of the Westmoreland Police Division, where a second arrest was made in the case of the mummified woman. Details contradict the family's story. Now, there is a major twist in the story of an elderly woman whose mummified remains were found inside a house in Old Hope, Little London in Westmoreland on Sunday, July 6 this year. The senior citizen in question has since been identified as Viola Destin. It had been reported that she lost her life in December of 2023. Now, a woman described as her caregiver, 54-year-old Gina Robinson, has been hit with several charges relating to Destin's loss of life. So a second female has been slapped with charges in relation to the loss of life of Viola Destin. The person is presently on your screen, and she has since been identified as 49-year-old Laverne Weatherburn, said to be an unemployed woman of Sheffield District in Westmoreland. Now, on the Spot News Media understands that Viola Destin was on the streets of Savannah, Lamar in early 2023 begging for food or money to buy food. It is understood that that is where she met Laverne Wedderburn. And Laverne Wedderburn reportedly took sympathy on her and decided to take her off the streets and into her home. Wedderburn was eventually contacted by Gina Robinson and discussed how best to feed Miss Viola Destin and provide for her long-term shelter. Now, sources close to the investigation says that the women then contacted a clergyman presently on your screen who was living overseas and told him of Miss Destin's plight. Now, the clergyman reportedly agreed to send money periodically to them to care for Miss Viola Destin. Now, our sources stated that soon after this arrangement was struck, Miss Destin became critically ill. That's when Gina Robinson agreed to become the primary caregiver and took Miss Destin into her home in Old Hope District in Little London, Westmoreland. So an autopsy concludes that on December 10th of 2023, Viola Destin lost her life due to her illness. Our sources also stated that the women were then instructed by the Farin-based clergyman not to report the loss of life to the authorities. They were instead told to cover the body with bed sheets and layers of plastic. They were also told to place a tarpaulin on top. It is understood that the women were further instructed to seal the edges of the tarpaulin with sand. The women were also told to sprinkle the makeshift tomb with a combination of household chemicals and baking soda to keep the stench down. We recall that the initial reports about the discovery of Miss Viola Destin's mummified body states that they found the concerned relatives who went to check on her. Well, On the Spot News Media understands that the relative never got checked on her. A lie the relative them a tell. We were being told that Gina Robinson's father went to the house for casual visits on days, and on the day that the police reportedly discovered the graphic scene on Sunday, July 6, the father also went to that premises. It was during the visit where he stumbled upon the makeshift tomb inside his daughter's house. He is the one who is understood to have alerted the police of the horrific discovery. So it is reported that the police effectively exhumed Miss Destin's body after digging through the makeshift tomb. Gina Robinson have been charged with concealment of a corpse, preventing the lawful burial of a corpse, and preventing the course of justice, while Laverne Wedderburn have been charged with conspiracy to all of the named above. Now, the clergyman presently on your screen now resides in Colorado in the United States of America, and he is being urged to get in contact with the Jamaican authorities with immediate effect. Now, if you, Mr. Clergyman, is listening to On the Spot News Media, please alert the Westmoreland Police by calling 876-955-2758, or have a family or friend in Jamaica alert the police at 119 or the National Intelligence Bureau tip line at 811 or Crime Stop at 311. Yeah, man. Boy, may I tell you, if bizarre, sick and twisted was ever a person, this story would definitely be it. Yeah, man. Now it's politics time again. Are you gonna vote now? Buju Banton sang that. Yeah, man. Now the commanding officer for the Era 4 Police, that's Assistant Commissioner of Police, Michael Phipps, is calling on political candidates to maintain peace and respect during the election campaign season. His calls follows several reports of political campaign posters being defaced or removed by opposing factions. Now the general elections are constitutionally due by December this year, but it is widely expected for the Prime Minister of Jamaica, Andrew Holness, to bring Jamaicans to the polls by September. But me personally don't believe so. I feel say Andrew Holness I got drag this out for as long as he possibly can to show the Jamaican public that his administration has brought crime to an all-time low. So now we're going to hear from ACP Phipps, who says the removal and vandalization of campaign material could lead to conflict. He says he's directed his divisional commanders to be on the alert for persons who remove political signs. So right there and then, this police work narrow down to, boy, I better tell you. I joke this, but anyway, listen.
The police across the Air Force space is at this time appealing to all the political representatives, whether a sitting member of parliament or a prospective candidate. We are appealing to them to conduct all their political activities in an atmosphere that engenders peace and goodwill. We have been getting complaints from some representatives regarding removal of and the destruction of posters, etc. We propose to do very early intervention in order to prevent potential conflicts within the constituencies across Area 4. We have had good responses and so far have had one meeting with Member of Parliament Mr. Donovan Williams of the JLP and Mr. Steve McGregor of the PNP, both reps for Central Kingston constituency. This meeting, I believe, was very cordial and I think went very well, where both gentlemen pledged to ensure that both camps will conduct their political activities in an atmosphere of peace and goodwill, and at the same time implore their supporters to do everything to maintain a peaceful election campaign.
Now the next thing that we're going to talk about, my peeps, is coming out of the troubled, war-torn, crime-riddled St. Andrew North Police Division, where that division was rocked with yet again another fatal knockings and clappings. Now a man end up lose him 3 pints, right time shop over there in Copz, St. Andrew. Now if you hear a fatal knockings and clappings are going on at Copz, things definitely look a certain type of way, because Copz is not a place where you hear them type of thing that go on. Now, the man in question has since been identified as 31-year-old Lamar Lindo. The police report that sometime around 1:25 a.m., Lamar was at his shop when he was pounced upon by armed criminal elements. He was conned up multiple times all over the upper body and head. The police were summoned and it is stated that he was assisted to the Kingston Public Hospital, where he was officially pronounced, you know what. Detectives assigned to the Constant Spring Criminal Investigation Branch is presently probing that matter. We get to understand that the man in him shop come out figure all a leak at the side of him shop, and right there so the man them run him down and gun him down. So on the Spot News Media will most definitely be keeping close tabs on this one and update you subsequently. Yeah, man. Now, the next thing that we're going to talk about, my peeps, this TikToker, presently on your screen, almost lose him 3 pints as the man them run him down and can him up 3 times. But luckily for him, he's still among the land of the living. Now, the TikToker has since been identified as Willy. Now we get to understand that he was definitely one of those that was trying to solve the case of another TikToker who lost his life in the St. Catherine South Police Division of Old Harbour. some time ago. That TikToker is known as Naya Gang. So I guess his almost fatal knockings and clappings is in relation to his involvement in that, or probably something else. But early days yet, so On The Spot News Media will most definitely be keeping tabs on this one and update you subsequently. Now, the last thing that we're going to talk about, my peeps, is coming out of the St. Catherine North Police Division, where it has been reported to On The Spot News Media that that particular police division has recorded 3 fatal knockings and clappings in the wee hours of this morning. Now, one of the criminal elements, identified as Bwoysie, end up lose him 3 points by the hands of the security forces in the community of Damhead. A next criminal element, identified as ChuckUp, get clap up in a De La Vega City. And another criminal element, identified as Nose, end up losing 3 points in an armed confrontation with the security forces in the community known as New Nursery in Spanish Town, St. Catherine. So all of what I've stated is fresh news in our streets. So On The Spot News Media will most definitely be keeping his ears on the ground and update you as we get more surrounding the police fatal knockings and clappings of 3 criminal elements in the St. Catherine North Police Division. Yeah, man. So right there and then, another decent spot of work again by the squad of them. So stay tuned for more in this report. So anyway, my peeps, remember to like, share, subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned to On The Spot News Media as I continue to bring you fresh news and updates in subsequent newscast. On The Spot News Media. Yeah, man.